Hello Mechwarriors, ATM87 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Mechwarrior Online. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to purchase a brand new mech, and we're going to go through the steps of customizing it in the mech lab. So let's get started. We go into the mech lab. Now, what mech should we start with? I think we should go with a medium mech. It's personal preference. I just really like mediums. And I really feel anyone just starting off should start with mediums. They're the most rounded and well-balanced class. They're a little undergunned, and they're not as fast as light mechs, but they're a great way to learn how to play. Now, there's a champion mech for the Blackjack, a champion for the Centurion, a champion for the Cicada, and a champion for the Hunchback. But they all require MC, which is the in-game money. So let's take a look at the ones we can buy for C-bills. Well, look here. There's a champion of the Blackjack, and here's the standard variant of it. And it only costs 3.3 million C-bills. Well, almost 3.4. But I have 4.8, so we should be able to afford some of the equipment we need. So let's go ahead and buy this one. Yeah, we use C-bills. And we're just going to leave the name normal. Okay. So we're going to go up here, change this back to owned. We're going to select medium. And let's take a look here. There it is. Right there in our mech bay. Let's go and click configure. Now, I would personally recommend piloting a mech for a few matches while you get used to it, and then decide whether you want to build it a different way or not. But I already know that I don't like this one, so let's go and look at the mech details really quick. Okay. So the Blackjack, at least this one, the Blackjack 1, has 2 ballistic slots, 1 in each arm, and it has 4 energy slots, 1 in each arm and then 1 in each side torso. It's currently equipped with 2 AC2s and 4 medium lasers. AC2s aren't that great, and if you look here, it only has 1 ton of ammo, and this engine is atrocious. It's just way too slow. So let's go ahead and strip this out. Let's click back really quick. And let's go into loadout. Alright. We're going to dump the engine. And let's... Actually, hold on. Let's go back. There's a handy new button now, and I keep forgetting about it. We can click the button here, Strip Mech, and we can strip all of the equipment off in one click. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Alright. So this is what our mech looks like now. You notice all of its weapons are gone. And now let's go back into loadout. Okay. So if you look here, you can see our engine is stored here. Owned 1. Now, the champion version uses an XL engine. The difference between an XL engine and a standard engine is that an XL engine takes up 3 critical slots in each side torso. Now, in classic battletech, whenever you took 3 critical hits to your engine, your mech was destroyed. And the same applies here. If your side torso is destroyed, your mech is destroyed as well, if you have an XL engine. However, XL engines weigh half as much as an engine of the same type, so the trade-off is usually worth it. Okay, this is the engine that I want, but if you look here, the C-bill cost is 3.8 million C-bills. Almost as much as the mech was itself. Actually, a little bit more. We cannot afford that. I only have 1.4 million. Not going to happen. Mechwarrior Online recently added the ability to buy C-bills with the in-game money that you can buy called MC. So you buy MC, and then you can buy packets of C-bills are what you actually use for customizing your mech. Not sure entirely how I feel about that, but it's a good thing for people that don't have time to play all the time. So how can we afford this? Well, let's go ahead and check out for now. Now, we can't launch this mech in a match. It just doesn't have any engine, doesn't have any weapons. You wouldn't want to even if you could. Now let's go look at our inventory. Now, I have all these mechs. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. My version of the urban mech is particularly bad. But this is all the mechs that you currently own that you can sell. I don't know if I'd ever recommend selling mechs, but you may eventually need to, and you can find them under inventory. Just when you sell them, make sure you actually want to sell the stuff on it as well. There's an option to toggle to sell all the items. Just be careful when you're doing it. Let's see. Okay, so we have an AC-10, 2 AC-2s, an LB-10X, an LRM-10, 2 LRM-5s, 4 medium lasers, 6 SRM-4s. Why do I have so many SRM-4s? Huh. Okay, and 3 SRM-6s. That's under weapons. And under equipment, we have our standard engine, a bunch of standard heatsinks, jump jets, case, which would normally protect your mech from being destroyed. If your mech is ever hit when it has no armor left on it, anything in that location can be critically hit, usually destroying it if it's a weapon or something. However, when ammo is critically hit, there's a chance that it'll explode. When ammunition explodes, it does 100 points of damage to the section it's in, and any damage left over is transferred to the next section in. So, for say if you have ammo in your arm, and it explodes, it'll finish off your arm, and then any damage left over will go to your torso. Or if you had it in your torso, it would go to the center torso. See how that works? So case is supposed to prevent damage from going inward. Now, it's not particularly useful on a XL engine mech, simply because losing that section of the torso will kill you anyway. But it does take up space, and sometimes that's good, because if the case is critically hit, it doesn't matter. But if it hits another component, it could be bad. So it just uses up space. Now, I don't think we have enough to sell to buy that engine. So let's go back and look at my mechs. Well, I did just finish the Kintaro 18. We go back here to the mech lab. That's this one that I was piloting before. It has a lot of missile weapons. And I've already finished basicing it out. I don't have any more piloting skills to collect on it. So let's go back to the inventory and we can sell that back. Okay, you see, it's asking me if I want to sell all the equipment as well. And I think we can do that. Huh. Okay, let's go back to the mech lab. Did I accidentally click cancel? I think I may have clicked cancel, guys. Alright, let's go back in here. Let's go to sell it. Oh. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pause here really quick, and I'll be right back. And we're back. Sorry about that. The server was lagging. Okay. Now, if you see here, we have 5 million C-bills. And with that, we can go in and edit our mech. Let's go to Configure. Load out. And now we want that big XL engine. And let's equip it. Alright. So if you look here, that gives us a really decent speed. However, we're still going to run a little bit hot because we're still using single heat sinks. Let's go ahead and fix that now. We're going to go back into inventory. And we need to make sure we have 1.5 million C-bills, because that's how much it costs to upgrade a mech to double heat sinks. Let's go back to inventory. And while I'm at it, I'm going to sell a couple excess weapons to make sure we have enough to purchase the AC-20 as well. Sell this. And we don't need these SRM6s. Okay. We should have more than enough. Yes. Okay, let's go back to the mech lab. And once again, click Configure. Now let's get to building. We're going to go here to Upgrades. And we're going to select down here where it says Double Heatsink. Alright, it's switched up here where it says Double Heatsink. And we're going to go ahead and check out. Let's click back. And let's go into loadout. Okay. Now, this is still just showing our center torso. And if you look, there's no weapon slots or anything we can put in here. But we can max out its armor. Center torso. Okay. The right arm, we're going to put an AC-20. Look at that. Took up all of our available space. Each weapon has a different number of hard points that it takes up, as well as a number of critical slots. You remember I mentioned critical slots a little bit ago. The way it works is, whenever your arm, let's say your arm is hit, when it has no armor left, it'll then randomly determine one of these slots to take a critical hit on. Generally, if a weapon is hit, it'll be destroyed. So, an AC-20, although it packs a big punch, also takes up a lot of space and can be easier destroyed. Let's go into the right torso and equip a medium laser. And if you notice, it used up the laser hardpoint, and it only takes up one critical slot. Let's also put in a jump jet. Okay, our weapons are in place, but we could use a little more armor. Oh, look, Oliver. So let's just go ahead and finish off our armor. Okay, and we still have 3 tons remaining. We're going to go ahead and go to the center torso. And I've seen this done a lot. People put their ammunition into their center torso and their head. The reason being is, if your armor is stripped off and you take a critical hit to those sections, there's a good chance you're going to be dead anyway. So an ammunition explosion in that spot really doesn't matter. Now we're going to go ahead and put in our ammo. You always have to make sure you have ammo for mechs. Hold on a second. Let's count how many empty slots we have. 8, 9, Alright, we have 28 empty slots, but we are completely out of extra weight. The problem is we still need one more heatsink before we can launch the mech. Now, normally at this point, I would recommend going and purchasing endosteel, which reduces the weight of the mech, and endosteel takes up critical slots. But we don't have enough for it at the moment. So we've added our double heatsink. We're going to go ahead and check out again. And let's take a look at the mech once it saves. Okay, mech details. Alright, so we have our AC-20. We have 3 medium lasers, a jump jet, and a double heatsink. We have our XL engine, and we have 2 tons of ammo. I think we should get a little more ammo. So let's go home to our inventory. And let's sell just a little bit more. I'm not actually sure how much the endosteel upgrade for the Blackjack costs. So let's find out. Can sell the LRM. Oh, and we can sell this engine. I completely forgot we had that. Yeah, we're never going to go back to that standard engine. It's not terribly good. So we can go ahead and toss that. We will, however, keep the Beagle active probe here. It's worth a lot, but it's very good for mechs that use streak missiles, because it allows you to lock on to mechs with electronic countermeasures, as long as you're within a certain range of them. Okay, let's go back to the mech lab. We're going to configure once again. Go back to upgrades, and let's give it endosteel. Now, endosteel and ferrofibrous are both really good for saving weight on your mech, but the only mechs that really need ferrofibrous are light mechs, because they can afford the critical slots, because they can't carry very many weapons to begin with. Let's go ahead and equip endosteel, though. And we'll click check out. Now, that saved us 2 additional tons, and we're going to use that space for extra heat, for extra ammo. Because the more ammo we're carrying, the better. Okay. And I think we're good to go. We'll just change up the color scheme really quick. I'm not a big fan of the basic color, and I actually have a couple of the nicer colors. So we'll go ahead and do that. I don't think I have any camo for it. Nope. Okay. We can change the colors. So let's see what this looks like. Ooh. I like that green. Now let's change this to a white. That's not bad. Detailing is okay. I don't know how I feel about that black, though. Let's change it to a blue. There we go. Ice stabby. Perfect. We're going to go ahead and save changes. And let's go ahead and launch it a match, see how we do. Oh, one last thing before we do it. I sometimes forget to do this, and I end up spending a couple minutes right as the match starts trying to configure my weapons. Let's do it now to save confusion. Alright. Actually, that's not too bad. We have an AC-20 in 1, so our first mouse button will fire it. We have a medium laser on 2, and that's the one in our arm, as it says here. So we can fire that with the second mouse button. And then we have 2 medium lasers on 3. And for me, that's my center mouse wheel if I click it. Now, you may be asking, well, don't I want to put all my weapons on the same click so that I fire everything? Yes and no. You could do that. The problem being that you can't put out as much damage over time. You'll fire all your weapons, and then you'll have to wait for everything to recharge, or you'll be firing really sporadically if you keep holding down the mouse button. In addition, each weapon generates a different amount of heat, and holding down your mouse button is a good way to overheat quickly. So we're good to go. Let's go ahead and launch. We'll launch into a public match. And any game type. So I still haven't had a chance to show you guys Mordor. And I suppose that's a good thing. I'm not a big fan of Mordor. Ooh. Okay. HPG Manifold. This is more of a arena-style map, in that it's got a big center round area that mechs fight in. But there is some outside area to maneuver on. Let's go ahead and see who's in our lands. If the map will load. It's thinking about it. There it goes. Alright, we gotta click the ready button. Never forget to click the ready button. Okay. Oh good, we've got about a minute. We have a Banshee, an Atlas, and a Thunderbolt in our lance. That's pretty good. And if you look down here, so this is the big central area I was talking about that mechs fight over. And we're doing a resource match, which means we're definitely going to be fighting over the capture point in here. There's a big complex in the middle here, and there's an underground section that has one of the capture points. In addition, there's usually a capture point here, 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 and here. Sometimes here, instead of over there. We'll see. There are gates here. Well, there are gates on every cardinal direction, so you can come in from the north, south, east, or west. I think we're all set. Now let's see what the rest of my team wants to do. Apparently he wants to shoot the wall. Okay. I feel better already. My confidence has never been higher. Yeah, guys, if you're going to play in a match, don't randomly fire your weapons in the air. First off, you can hit your teammates, which is really obnoxious. And more importantly, if you're firing in the air, the enemy knows where you are. Just something to think about when you decide to showboat. I don't think I'm quite the right weight to be rumbling with these guys. We're going to this underground area, and I just don't think it's a good idea. For me. I meant for me. Well, let's see what we can do. There's a light mech. It's the Firestarter hero. Okay. Well, we're currently capturing the point, which is good. Now, for those of you who have actually been playing Mechwarrior Online and aren't just watching my videos, I don't know if you've ever noticed or felt like you see an enemy mech come around the corner, he looks at you, you look at him, and then the rest of the enemy team shows up and focuses only on you. I've had that happen quite a few times, and I've recently started trying to make sure it happens to other people. Because nothing's less fun than having the entire enemy team blow you to pieces. And everyone's kind of just...
New target acquired.
Okay, so far we've seen 2 fire starters on the enemy team. That's kind of cool. There are plenty of enemy mechs I'd rather not see on the enemy team. Like more cataphracts. So seeing light mechs is a nice change of pace. my mobile cover there decided to go hide back around a corner. Didn't give me a chance to keep up with him. I really don't like cataphracts. They just stack on the ballistic weapons, and they seem to think it's the height of fashion to fire all of them at the same time. Which wouldn't be a problem, except that ballistic weapons are very good in the game at the moment because their ability to lay damage down on a single spot. So half the Mechwarrior community right now is complaining about ballistic weapons, the other half loves them because they're so good. You have an assault mech shooting you in the face, stop focusing on me! Well, we didn't do too bad, guys. 231 damage, and the only reason I don't have any kill assists yet is because my team hasn't killed anyone. I don't know if it's the team or if it was me. But it's kind of obnoxious watching an assault mech completely ignore the other assault mechs to shoot a medium mech. Maybe it's my color scheme. Well, guys, we spent a lot of time talking about mech construction. I'm going to go ahead and leave off here, and I hope to see you next time, Mech Warriors.